At exactly 2:17 in the morning, a young woman ran barefoot from a luxury apartment building in Lekki. Her expensive dress was badly torn, stains covered the left side of her face, and every step she took appeared more difficult than the last. She stumbled into the middle of the road, desperately waving at the few vehicles passing through the quiet street. None of them stopped. Behind her, the gates of the apartment building opened slowly. A black Range Rover emerged and began moving towards her. The woman looked back, recognized the vehicle, and ran with the last of her strength. By sunrise, she had disappeared. The only evidence that she had ever been on that street was a blood-stained shoe lying beside the road and a voice recording she had sent to a stranger moments before she vanished. In the recording, she pleaded with the stranger not to believe anyone who claimed that she had taken her own life. 3 weeks earlier, 26-year-old Amaka Okafor had been sitting inside a crowded bus at Oshodi when she received the phone call that changed her life. The afternoon heat was unbearable. Passengers complained about the traffic, while street vendors moved between vehicles, selling bottled water, plantain chips, and phone chargers. Amaka barely noticed any of it. Her attention was fixed on her phone as a representative from Royal Living Properties informed her that she had been selected for an interview. For several months, Amaka had struggled to find stable employment. The marketing agency where she had worked for 3 years had suddenly reduced its staff. Since then, she had submitted applications to dozens of companies across Lagos. Most never responded. Others invited her for interviews only to offer salaries that would not cover her transport, food, and family responsibilities. Royal Living Properties was different. The company was one of the fastest-growing luxury property businesses in Lagos. Its clients included celebrities, wealthy business owners, politicians, and Nigerians living abroad. The company's founder, Cassandra Williams, was also one of the most admired businesswomen on social media. At only 32, Cassandra had built an image that thousands of young women admired. Her social media pages were filled with photographs of designer clothes, expensive cars, private dinners, and international holidays. She appeared confident, successful, and generous. To the public, she represented the perfect Lagos success story. The following morning, Amaka arrived at the company's Victoria Island office. The building was made almost entirely of glass. From the reception area, she could see the busy roads below and the sunlight reflecting from the water in the distance. Everything inside the office looked expensive. The furniture, decorations, and quiet professionalism made Amaka feel as though she had entered a world that was completely different from her own. Her interview lasted less than 20 minutes. Cassandra studied Amaka's resume, asked a few questions about her previous experience, and paid close attention to the way she carried herself. The most important requirement for the position was not Amaka's marketing experience. It was discretion. Royal Living Properties worked with powerful people. Cassandra needed an assistant who would not discuss private meetings, confidential transactions, or unusual instructions. Amaka assured her that she could be trusted. Before leaving the office, she was offered the job. The salary was more than 3 times what she had earned at her previous company. It included health insurance, transport support, and accommodation in a small company-owned apartment. Amaka left the building feeling as though her prayers had finally been answered. She immediately called her mother and shared the news. Her mother's happiness could be heard through the phone. For the first time in months, Amaka believed she would be able to pay her mother's rent, support her younger sister's education, and finally live without constantly worrying about money. Her older brother, Chinedu, was less excited. He found it strange that such a successful company had hired her so quickly. He advised Amaka to be careful and pay attention to everything happening around her. Amaka dismissed his concerns. She believed he was being overprotective. On her first day at Royal Living Properties, she was shown around the office by Regina, the company's receptionist. Amaka's responsibilities appeared straightforward. She would manage Cassandra's schedule, answer private calls, prepare documents, organize client meetings, and sometimes accompany Cassandra to property inspections. However, there were several unusual rules. Amaka was never allowed to enter Cassandra's office without knocking 3 times. She was never to open packages addressed personally to Cassandra. Most importantly, she was forbidden from asking questions about apartment 9B. The warning immediately caught Amaka's attention. She wanted to know what apartment 9B was and why mentioning it appeared to make Regina uncomfortable, but Regina refused to explain. She simply advised Amaka to follow instructions and avoid becoming curious about matters that did not concern her. For the first 2 weeks, the job appeared perfect. Cassandra was demanding, but she was also generous. She bought Amaka new clothes for important meetings, paid for her meals, and occasionally gave her additional money for working late. Amaka began enjoying a lifestyle she had only seen online. She attended meetings in expensive restaurants, entered luxury homes in Lekki and Ikoyi, and traveled around Lagos in Cassandra's chauffeured vehicle. Her friends noticed the sudden change. The pictures Amaka posted online showed beautiful offices, elegant restaurants, and views from high-rise apartments. People congratulated her and praised her for finally succeeding. What Amaka did not post were the strange things she began noticing around Cassandra. Late at night, Cassandra often received private phone calls that immediately changed her mood. During those conversations, the confident businesswoman became nervous and aggressive. Sometimes she closed the blinds in her office before answering. At other times, she ordered Amaka to leave the room. Amaka also noticed that Cassandra frequently asked whether anyone had visited the office asking questions about her younger sister. Cassandra's sister, Vanessa Williams, had once been a popular fashion influencer. Vanessa had built a large following by posting beauty tutorials, designer outfits, and photographs from events across Lagos. Almost 1 year earlier, Vanessa had suddenly stopped posting. Cassandra had informed the public that her sister had traveled abroad to receive treatment for severe depression. Whenever followers asked for updates, Cassandra requested privacy. Most people believed her. One Friday evening, Cassandra handed Amaka a sealed envelope and instructed her to deliver it personally to apartment 9B. The apartment was located inside an exclusive residential building in Lekki Phase 1. At the entrance, a security guard checked Amaka's name against a private list before allowing her inside. His nervous behavior made her uncomfortable. He initially offered to take the envelope upstairs himself, but Amaka explained that Cassandra had instructed her to deliver it personally. After making a short phone call, the guard gave Amaka an access card. The 9th floor was completely silent. There were only 2 apartments in the hallway, apartment 9A and apartment 9B. Amaka knocked several times, but nobody answered. When she touched the handle, the door opened. The living room was dark despite the bright afternoon outside. Heavy curtains covered every window. Empty food containers filled the dining table. Bottles of prescription medicine were scattered across the floor. The apartment was luxurious, but it did not feel like a home. It felt like a place where someone had been forgotten. As Amaka entered, a thin young woman appeared from one of the bedrooms. Her hair was untidy, her skin looked pale, and her oversized shirt hung loosely from her body. Amaka recognized her immediately. It was Vanessa Williams. The woman who was supposedly receiving treatment outside Nigeria was standing inside apartment 9B in Lekki. Vanessa appeared terrified when she discovered that Cassandra had sent Amaka. She took the envelope and opened it. Inside was a new mobile phone. Rather than becoming happy, Vanessa looked angry and defeated. She indicated that the phone was another attempt by Cassandra to control her. Amaka became increasingly uncomfortable. She had been ordered only to deliver the envelope, and she did not want to become involved in a private family matter. Before she could leave, Vanessa revealed that she was not staying in the apartment voluntarily. She was being held there. The statement left Amaka confused and frightened. Vanessa looked weak, but she did not appear mentally unstable. Her fear seemed genuine. Before Amaka could learn more, the apartment door opened. Cassandra entered. Her expression changed immediately when she saw Amaka standing beside Vanessa. Although Cassandra remained calm, Amaka could sense her anger. She reminded Amaka that her only responsibility had been to deliver the package. Vanessa was ordered back into her room. When she resisted, Cassandra grabbed her forcefully. Amaka left the apartment before the situation became worse. Throughout the night, she could not stop thinking about what she had seen. She searched for Vanessa online and examined her old posts. The final photograph on Vanessa's page showed her standing beside Cassandra during the launch of Royal Living Properties. The caption described Cassandra as her best friend and the only person she trusted completely. Looking at the picture, Amaka found it difficult to understand how the sisters' relationship had changed so badly. The following Monday, Cassandra behaved as though nothing had happened. She did not mention apartment 9B or Vanessa. Amaka also remained silent. She needed the job. Her mother depended on her. Her younger sister's school fees were approaching. She convinced herself that whatever was happening between Cassandra and Vanessa was a private family issue. Then, later that evening, Amaka received a message from an unknown number. The sender identified herself as Vanessa. She explained that she had found Amaka's number on one of Cassandra's old phones. Vanessa again insisted that she was being held prisoner. She claimed that Cassandra had taken her passport, bank cards, and personal phones. The guards had been instructed not to allow her to leave. According to Vanessa, medication was frequently added to her food, leaving her weak and confused. Amaka initially suspected that Vanessa might genuinely be unwell. Then Vanessa sent her a photograph. The image showed Cassandra standing inside a hotel room with a wealthy property developer named Chief Raymond Cole. Chief Raymond had disappeared 8 months earlier. His disappearance had appeared in newspapers and online reports. The police believed he had left Nigeria after becoming the subject of a financial investigation. However, the date on Vanessa's photograph showed that it had been taken 2 days after the police publicly announced his disappearance. Vanessa then revealed the truth. Chief Raymond had never left Nigeria. He had died inside apartment 9B. He had secretly invested billions of naira into Royal Living Properties. Over time, he discovered that Cassandra had been transferring large amounts of money into private accounts and selling properties without informing him. He threatened to expose her. A private meeting was arranged inside apartment 9B. Vanessa had been present because she owned a small percentage of the company and had also begun questioning Cassandra's financial decisions. During the meeting, an argument broke out. Chief Raymond threatened to report Cassandra to the authorities. In anger, Cassandra pushed him. He fell against the sharp edge of a glass table and died. Vanessa wanted to call the police immediately. Cassandra refused. With the help of her driver and a security guard, Chief Raymond's body was removed from the apartment. Cassandra then locked Vanessa inside and told the public that her sister had traveled abroad for treatment. At first, Cassandra promised that the arrangement would only last until she found a way to protect both of them. But days became weeks, and weeks became months. Vanessa eventually realized that Cassandra had no intention of setting her free. She was the only witness who could destroy everything Cassandra had built. Vanessa told Amaka that evidence of the financial crimes and Chief Raymond's death was hidden on a flash drive inside Cassandra's office. She needed Amaka to retrieve it. Amaka did not respond. Helping Vanessa could cost her job and possibly her life. Cassandra had money, influence, and relationships with powerful people. Amaka was only a young woman trying to support her family. The following morning, Cassandra called her into the office. Without explaining how she knew, Cassandra revealed that she was aware Amaka's mother was struggling to pay rent. She placed a large bundle of cash on the table. The amount was enough to solve several of Amaka's family problems. Cassandra presented the money as a reward for loyalty. At that moment, Amaka understood that Cassandra suspected Vanessa had contacted her. The money was not a gift, it was a warning. Amaka accepted it. That night, she blocked Vanessa's number. She told herself that she had made the sensible decision. She was not a police officer, lawyer, or investigator. She had responsibilities. Risking everything for a stranger seemed foolish. For 2 days, Amaka tried to forget what she had learned. Then Vanessa contacted her from another number. This time, she sent a voice recording. Her voice sounded weaker than before. Vanessa explained that Cassandra had discovered their communication and intended to move her somewhere else that night. She did not know where she was being taken. She feared that once she left apartment 9B, nobody would ever find her. The recording ended abruptly with the sound of a door being unlocked. Amaka listened to it repeatedly. She realized that by remaining silent, she was not protecting herself. She was helping Cassandra destroy another person. Amaka contacted Chinedu and told him everything. He advised her not to confront Cassandra. The safest option was to collect the evidence, create several copies, and make sure it reached people Cassandra could not control. The following afternoon, Cassandra left the office for a meeting in Ikoyi. Amaka waited until the office became quiet before entering Cassandra's private room. She searched the desk, drawers, and cabinets. There was no flash drive. As the minutes passed, Amaka became more nervous. Cassandra could return at any moment. Then Amaka noticed a framed photograph hanging on the wall. It showed Cassandra and Vanessa smiling together before Royal Living Properties became successful. The frame appeared unusually thick. Amaka removed it from the wall and found a small flash drive taped behind it. She placed it inside her handbag. Before leaving, she connected the flash drive to Cassandra's computer and copied its contents. The files contained transaction records, secret property documents, audio recordings, and photographs. There was enough evidence to expose one of the largest property fraud operations in Lagos. Amaka immediately sent copies to Chinedu and scheduled emails to several journalists. As she removed the flash drive from the computer, the office door closed behind her. Cassandra had returned. 2 security men stood beside her. Cassandra appeared calm, but the anger in her eyes was unmistakable. Amaka knew there was no explanation that would save her. Cassandra demanded the flash drive. Amaka slowly reached into her handbag. Instead of bringing out the device, she grabbed a small bottle of perfume and sprayed it directly into Cassandra's eyes. As Cassandra screamed, Amaka pushed past her. The security men chased her through the office. The lift was taking too long, so Amaka entered the emergency staircase. She ran down 7 floors, nearly falling several times. By the time she reached the street, the men were still following her. The evening traffic along Ahmadu Bello Way was almost completely blocked. Amaka ran between buses, motorcycles, and cars, while drivers shouted and sounded their horns. When she saw a police patrol vehicle, she moved towards it and begged the officers for protection. Cassandra's men disappeared into the traffic. Amaka handed the flash drive to the police officers. However, she did not fully trust them. The files had already been copied and sent to several people. If anything happened to her, the evidence would become public. The police searched apartment 9B that night. Vanessa was gone. The apartment showed signs that someone had left in a hurry. Clothes, food, and medicine had been abandoned. Nobody knew where Cassandra had taken her. The evidence on the flash drive exposed illegal property sales, money laundering, and bribery. It also contained an audio recording made shortly after Chief Raymond's death. In the recording, Cassandra could be heard instructing her driver to remove the body and warning Vanessa to remain silent. The investigation began immediately. Cassandra was questioned, but she denied everything. She claimed that Vanessa was mentally unstable and had invented the entire story. Without Vanessa's testimony, proving what had happened inside apartment 9B would be difficult. 2 nights later, at exactly 2:17 in the morning, Vanessa escaped from another apartment in Lekki. She had been moved there while Cassandra prepared to take her out of Lagos. Vanessa attacked one of the guards after pretending to swallow the medicine given to her. She ran from the building barefoot, injured and exhausted. A black Range Rover followed her onto the street. Several vehicles passed without stopping. As the Range Rover moved closer, Vanessa saw a delivery rider parked beside the road. She used the last of her strength to reach him. The rider initially appeared frightened, but after seeing the vehicle chasing her, he allowed Vanessa to climb onto his motorcycle. He drove into a narrow street where the Range Rover could not follow. Vanessa was taken to a hospital and placed under police protection. Her testimony confirmed the evidence Amaka had recovered. The following morning, Cassandra attempted to leave Nigeria. She was arrested inside the private wing of Murtala Muhammad International Airport. The investigation soon uncovered the full extent of her crimes. Chief Raymond's body was found buried beneath an unfinished property outside Lagos. Cassandra's driver, 2 private security guards, and a police officer were arrested. The police officer had received money to ignore earlier reports about Vanessa's disappearance. The story dominated social media for weeks. People who had once praised Cassandra's lifestyle immediately distanced themselves from her. Companies removed her from advertisements. Friends who had publicly celebrated her success claimed they had never known what she was doing. Cassandra's perfect online life collapsed almost overnight. Royale Living Properties was shut down while investigators examined its transactions. Many clients discovered that properties they believed they owned had been sold to several different people. Amaka became known as the young employee who had exposed one of the largest property scandals in Lagos. People described her as brave, but Amaka did not feel like a hero. She remembered that she had initially blocked Vanessa and accepted Cassandra's money. She had almost allowed fear and comfort to silence her. Several months later, Amaka met Vanessa inside a quiet cafe in Victoria Island. Vanessa had regained her health. She no longer looked like the frightened woman Amaka had discovered inside apartment 9B. Both women understood that their lives would never return to what they had been before. Amaka had lost her job, but she had regained her peace of mind. Vanessa had lost her sister, her company, and much of her former life, but she had regained her freedom. Together, they created an organization that helped victims secretly document evidence of abuse, fraud, and unlawful detention. They named it 217, after the exact time Vanessa escaped. Apartment 9B remained empty for years. Residents avoided the 9th floor, not because they believed the apartment was haunted, but because it reminded them of a frightening truth. Lagos was a city filled with millions of people. Its streets were crowded, its buildings were bright, and its nightlife rarely stopped. Yet, behind the doors of a beautiful luxury apartment, a woman had been held prisoner for almost 1 year. People had lived beside her. Security guards had watched her. Friends had asked questions about her disappearance. Still, the truth remained hidden. It took one ordinary young woman to look beyond the expensive cars, social media photographs, and promises of wealth. Amaka discovered that evil did not always hide in dark and abandoned places. Sometimes it wore designer clothes, lived in a luxury apartment, and smiled confidently for the camera. And sometimes, saving a life began with one person deciding not to look away.